So looking at game one between the Mariners and Blue Jays, you got the new Mariner. He's not new anymore. Luis Castillo, locked up, big extension against Alek Manoah, who is the star at the All-Star game. Colin, what do you like for this game one?
Yeah, definitely don't have a good feel for the series here with Seattle and Toronto. I'm excited to see Rogers Center rocking in the postseason.
Yeah.
Missed out on that opportunity last couple of years with COVID restrictions, but it's going to be back rocking. You guys remember that Toronto Texas series back in like 2016?
David Price. And they had David Price.
And Jose Batista,
Yes.
ending the universe with that big home run that led to Rougned Odor sucker punching him a year later.
Yes.
It's going to be a blast. I'm excited for the people in Toronto.
That feels like forever ago. Wow.
It does feel like forever ago. I mean, the Texas Rangers were in the playoffs. That's how long ago it feels. It's a really interesting pitching matchup, Alek Manoah against Luis Castillo. I am tending to go with the over here, fading the starting pitching a little bit. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of overs early. Obviously, every team has their ace lined up for these game ones, but there's a couple of things within this matchup that make me lean toward the over. Alek Manoah actually had a great quote today that talked about the pressure of playing in the postseason. He said, pressure is what you put in your tires. However, I'm a little bit hesitant to believe that Manoah, who I know is Dubundo's buddy, Alek Manoah, is gonna not have a little bit of nerves and jitters there pitching in front of the rockin' Rogers Center in his first ever postseason start. Getting down to the actual numbers of it, the Mariners walk at the second highest rate in the majors. When Manoah gets into trouble, it's because he's missing, because he's allowing walks. Manoah is 24th in all of baseball in out-of-zone swing percentage, but the Mariners are third lowest in baseball in out-of-zone swing percentage. So it's kind of a battle of strengths for both sides, and I like Seattle here to kind of lay off of Manoah's pitches out of the zone, his breaking stuff out of the zone. We saw it in July. Manoah faced the Mariners. He had 4 walks in 7 1/3 innings. He doesn't walk that many guys very often, and he's going to be his playoff debut. He's going to be amped up. We saw him in the All-Star game going nuts when he was mic'd up, and now with actual real pressure and real stakes. I just kind of feel like Seattle's patient offense is going to get the better of him. On the other side, Luis Castillo has one postseason start in his career with Cincinnati a couple of years ago. Toronto's offense is not someone I want to bet against with, regardless of who's on the mound. Castillo's a fastball slider changeup pitcher. The Blue Jays are 8th in weighted runs against fastball, 3rd against sliders, 7th against changeup. I think Rogers Center is going to be rocking. Manoah's going to be a little shaky, and Toronto's offense is going to have its way over 7, minus 115 or better. I love here.
Okay, so we don't have the fade the public segment labeled in our rundown for this postseason episode, but you might as well have called it fade the public, because looking at the Action app, 64% of the bets, 93% of the money coming in on the under 7 runs. So Colin is going against the people for game one. Jays, Mariners, Castillo, Manoah, your pitching matchup. Anthony, what's your favorite bet for game one? Jays, not Rays. Jays, Mariners.
Yeah, I want no part of this Toronto bullpen. They blew multiple leads to Seattle. They have command issues in general as a bullpen. Seattle has the edge once we get into the bullpens here, but I do think that these pitchers are pretty comparable, but I think that the lineup makes a big difference for Toronto. They are the number 1 offense in baseball in the last 2 months, and that is pretty notable because Seattle's offense has been good, but we don't know the health of Julio Rodriguez. That is a little bit of a concern. He's going to play, of course, but is he going to run? I don't think so. That definitely takes an element of their offense away. He has not been quite as good when in the lineup in the last month, and obviously he's not healthy. That's a big loss at the top of this lineup. And you just compare the lineup depth, it's not comparable. Toronto goes, 8 deep with good hitters, and Seattle goes like 5 deep. And I think it's a big difference. So at home, I like the Jays in the first 5. I don't disagree with Collins over. I think there's, of all the games, this is the one I most likely see an offensive outpouring.
Seattle, 6th lowest bullpen ERA in all of baseball this regular season. And Toronto, middle of the pack, just shy of 3.8 for an ERA in 2022.